played a vital role in a legendary side, the beating heart of the team known and loved as Super Depor. Every big piece of silverware that resides in the Galician club's trophy cabinet was won with Donato Gama da Silva in the side, and the player enjoyed a Liga BBVA career which covered 3 decades.
The years I spent at Deportivo were wonderful. I'll never be able to forget them. All the titles the club have won were when I was there along with Mauro Silva and Fran, and other teammates who are still there now. But I think we're the only 3 who won every trophy. Me, Mauro Silva and Fran.
Before his years at Riazor, Donato spent a 5-year spell at Atletico Madrid. The Hispano-Brazilian midfielder signed for Atletico after impressing in the Ramon de Carranza tournament while representing Vasco da Gama.
In 1988, we played in several tournaments in Portugal and Spain. And the last one was in Cádiz. It was the last competition of the tour, and then we were returning home. I checked in my suitcase and was ready to go back to Brazil, when suddenly they called me and told me that Atletico Madrid had signed me. That was a big surprise. My dream had always been to come to play in Europe, and I'd thought about Portugal, Spain, or Italy. But when Atletico Madrid signed me, I couldn't believe it.
Years later, now at Depor, he helped the Gallegos win their only Liga title in the 99-2000 season. But that could have been their second if it hadn't been for Jukic missing that penalty 6 years earlier.
The penalty came in the 88th or 89th minute. I wasn't on the pitch, so Jukic had to take it. Fans always ask why Bebeto didn't take it, and I always wonder why Fran didn't take it. Me, Fran and Jukic were the 3 players who practiced taking penalties, but it was Bebeto who was criticised for not having the guts to take it, and Jukic for having missed it, and I was seen as being the player who would have taken it and would have scored. And so we would have won another Liga title. But nobody knows. I don't know if I would have scored if I'd been there to take it.
Donato will never forget his time in Riazor, but the final chapter, his leaving the club, left the Rio de Janeiro-born player with a sour taste in his mouth.
It's a sad memory. There are things in life that you can't understand why they happen or what for. Only God knows. I got on well enough with the club, but for the last few years it seemed they weren't too bothered about Donato staying on. In my final years at the club, I often ended up renewing my contract because of the support of the fans, because of the hard work I put in on the pitch. And so the club felt more or less obliged to extend my contract. So I'm always going to be grateful to the fans, but it was sad that it finished how it did. I got a phone call when I was out training to come back for the pre-season, and it was the club. They put me through to Lendoiro, and he told me that they didn't need me anymore. It was a surprise. It was a shock. It wasn't easy to take in like that. After so many years at the club, to be treated like that, it just knocked me off my feet, and I felt lost. I didn't know what to do.
Despite that blow, Donato never closed the door on the club he carries in his heart, but the call from Deportivo never came.
Now, with the change of president, I thought I'd get the chance to go back and work at the club. We talked over a few things that later didn't get done, and I got tired of waiting. I've been waiting 12 years for a call from Deportivo to work with them, but the call never came.
Now Donato is happy working as a coach at Viveiro, playing in the local league. Nobody knows what the future may hold, but for the time being, the Brazilian can't see himself anywhere else but at the humble Galician club.
For me to leave Viveiro, it would have to be for something huge. But it's not just about money in this life. The way they treat me here in the town is like a VIP. Perhaps they can't pay me with money, but they pay me in other things which are important, with love and respect for me and my family.